About factoring polynomials that are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. The first step when doing problems like this is to look for a common number that goes into each part of the trinomial. And so let's look at one that specifically has that situation. So let's look at 6x squared plus 9x minus 27. When we have this situation here, if there is a number that goes into all of them, you can make your life a lot easier by actually taking that number out. And so really what we're going to do is we're going to factor out the GCF, factor out the number that they have in common. And so here I have 6, 9, and 27. I'm looking at the coefficients, and I'm looking at the constant, and I see that 3 goes into all of them. And so what I'm thinking of is, okay, I'm thinking about taking a 3 out. And if you take a 3 out, 6 divided by 3, I'd still have a 2 left here, so 2x squared. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. And so I'd go through and take out the 3. You'll notice that if you bring the 3 into each one of these, you get the original problem that we had, the 6x squared plus 9x minus 27. So these are equivalent expressions that we have here. Now I can go through and factor this. Now this is the same as we factored yesterday, except for now we have a number in front. Because we have a number in front, it's going to mean that we have more choices. Now, the nice thing about this is there are only so many choices that we have here. On this particular problem, we only have 3 choices. We could have 9 and 1. We could have 1 and 9. Or we could have 3 and 3. But as you can see, those are the only options that we have when doing this problem. And so, as you look at that, we still have to do the outside terms and the inside terms when figuring this out. Notice that I'm not putting in the signs. I'm not worried about the signs right now. I'm just worried about the numbers here and knowing what to look for. The thing to look for is, because I have subtraction here, I'm looking at that last term, the constant, and I'm looking at what's in front of it. If that's minus 9, then I have a negative number here. I'm going to be subtracting the outside and the inside. If this was a positive, then I would be adding the outside and the inside. So here we have subtraction. We have a negative number here. So we will go ahead and subtract the outside and inside. And so the outside here, 2 times 1 is 2. 9 times x is 9. So I go 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. That's not the one I want. So that one doesn't work. 2 times 9 is 18. 1 times 1 is 1. 18 minus 1 is 17. Again, that's not what I want. So that doesn't work. Here, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 3, because 3 times 1 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay, that's the one I want. So this is the one I want to look at now. I have to get it so that this is a positive 3. So you got to think about, what would I do to get that to be a positive 3? Well, I want the bigger part of it then to be positive. So I have 2 times 3, that's 6, and 3 times 1, that's 3. The bigger part of it is right here. In order to keep that positive, so I get a positive 3x, I need to put the plus sign over here, because a positive 2 times a positive 3 is positive 6. Now I have the minus 3 here. Negative 3 times positive 3 will still give me that negative there, so I'm going to have the different signs to get the negative. And then when I do my outside and inside and combine those, I'll get my middle term there. So that is a problem where you can pull out the GCF. Let's look at one more problem just to get a better idea of kind of the thought process going through here. So let's look at 6x squared minus 19x plus 15. As I do that problem, the first thing I look for is a GCF. Is there any number that goes into all 3 of these? Here there is not a number that goes into all 3 of them. So I just have to start FOILing. One way of getting 6x squared is to take 6x times x. And so I start there. And I'm looking at taking 6x times x and all the different possibilities that I might have. So there are 2 ways that I can get 15. The 2 ways that I can get 15 are I can take 5 times 3, which is the same as 3 times 5. Or I can take 15 times 1, which is the same as 1 times 15. So notice that you have to look at it both ways, with the 5 being first and with the 3 being first, with the 15 being first and with the 1 being first as you go through there. Now let's go through and do our math again here. And so as I go through here, outside, 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 5, notice that I'm plus in here because I have a positive 15, a plus 15. So I'm adding the 18 and the 5. That's 23, so that doesn't work. I have 30 plus 3, because 6 times 5 is 30, 3 times 1 is 3, so that's 33. That's not what I want. I have 6 times 1 is 6, plus 15 is 21. Very close, but that doesn't work. I have 6 times 15. I don't even know what that is, but it's going to be a big number, bigger than 19, so that's not going to work. So now I'm kind of sitting there thinking, well, maybe it's not factorable. But remember, you still have to try when you have 3x and 2x. So let me set my stuff up here. When you have 3x and 2x, you still have the same options to equal 15. So you still got to look at each situation there. Remember those situations when I had 5 and 3, when I had 3 and 5, when I had 15 and 1, and when I had 1 and 15. And so let's go through again. Let's start on the bottom here. 3 times 15 is 45. 45 plus 2, that's 47. That doesn't work. 3 times 1 is 3. 15 times 2 is 30. 30 plus 3 is going to be 33. That doesn't work. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 6 is 21. Ooh, so close, but that doesn't work. So I've got all these things crossed off. I'm left with one more option. It's the only option I have as I look at all the ways to get 6x squared and I look at all the ways to get 15, and I'm going through all those options. If this does not work, it means it's not factorable. If it's not factorable, that doesn't mean I can't solve it. It just means I have to use the quadratic formula. And so we kind of rely on this as our last option here as we go through here. So now as I glance at this, 3 times 3 is 9, 5 times 2 is 10. So as I look at it, this does work. Now, since this is positive, what I know is that both of these signs have to be the same. So both of these have to be the same, and I need to get a negative 19x. In order to do that, then, if I'm looking for a negative 19x, then I'm going to put that minus in both of these. So this is 3x minus 5 times 2x minus 3. Now, this is going to happen to you sometimes. Sometimes you're going to go through, and it's going to be the absolute last one that you try. But sometimes when you go through there, it might be the first one you try. And so don't get discouraged on the problems that take you a long time. It could just be that it's unlucky for you, but it's the last one that you're going to get to. It could be that it's not factorable. There will be some problems, though, where it comes real easy. It'll be the first one you try, and things will go real quick. So remember, guys, eat your bacon and have a fantastic evening.